So do you know who this is?
I think this is Charles Darwin.
You think?
Well, it does say Darwin underneath, so I'm going to give it a good guess.
Very good.
Good morning. My name is Alexandra Cambridge.
And I'm Tilly Windsor.
We are here today in the tiny town of Shrewsbury.
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 Beside us is the statue of the town's talented son, Charles Darwin, who made the most astonishing discoveries in science. Now that we've been here for a few hours, we have come across the most shocking observations. He is everywhere.
It has us wondering why this town is so obsessed with Charles Darwin. We stumbled across some locals who were more than willing to share their thoughts.
I think he'd have hated the shopping centre.
A genius, really.
Yeah.
Discovered an evolution theory, I think.
Any town would be proud to have someone like Darwin as one of their sons, as it were. So I think yeah, there's an obsession with him, certainly.
I'm not obsessed with him, no.
I have come to Shrewsbury's Museum and Art Gallery to speak with curator and expert Emma Kate Lanyon about their collection relating to Darwin. Let's see what she has to say.
I think perhaps Shrewsbury is a little bit obsessed with Charles Darwin, but he is a really important figure. Well, I think one of the things that we have to remember is that Darwin had a lucky break, and his trip on the Beagle opened his eyes to things that some of those other naturalists who were left here didn't have the access to. So they may have seen collections that were sent back from voyages like the Beagles, but they weren't there on the ground looking at the specimens in their natural habitat. And I think that gave Darwin the opportunity to really explore some of his ideas. I think we would still have a theory of evolution and genetics if there hadn't been a Darwin, but it may just have happened at a slightly different time and at a different speed. So I think we're just lucky that Darwin was in the right place at the right time.
Can you name any monuments around Shrewsbury that are dedicated to Charles Darwin?
There's lots of statues and things all over town, isn't there? There's one of my doctors. There's just a lot of them all over, but specifically, no.
Obviously we have the statue here. We have something on the riverbank.
Is that the one by the Welsh Bridge? Yes, and it looks like DNA.
Looks like a dinosaur. It's the not the obelisk is called
The slinky on the river. I don't really like it. I don't see that it in any way inspires anybody to think of Charles Darwin.
We have arrived at the Quantum Leap, which was constructed in 2009 in order to celebrate the bicentenary of the tiny town's talented son.
The slinky. The monstrosity. A statue that has the people of Shrewsbury divided.
Look at it, all the nature and
It absolutely does.
the birds and it's so beautiful, the wildlife.
Look at his leaves.
I know, you can imagine.
Crunch, crunch.
You can imagine him sitting there.
This is the dingle. Part of Shrewsbury's quarry.
Shrewsbury.
Shrewsbury.
Mr. Darwin spent a lot of time immersed in nature, studying and observing the local wildlife from a very young age.
I heard he liked fishing. We got in touch with John King, Darwin aficionado and founder of the Darwin Festival.
Yeah, never lose sight of the young Charles Darwin. That's your Darwin. That's your Darwin.
Yeah.
As a child, he was collecting bugs and beetles. He was looking at stones and pebbles and shells. He studied birds. Crucially, he was asking questions. And you have to understand that at that time, not everybody did or indeed felt they had permission to ask questions.
Yeah.
So the world as they saw it was beautiful. The fecundity of nature, the variety of animals on the earth and the plants, all of this was an absolutely wonderful thing. But most people didn't say, but why? We are innately curious beings. That's what we are. And I always say that, we're all born stupid. It takes a particular steely will to remain so. If you can't open your eyes and see, even if you don't know the answer, just go, wow.
Join us on our next adventure when we'll be in Stratford-upon-Avon to see the extent of their obsession with Shakespeare. I've been Alexandra Cambridge.
And I've been Tilly Windsor.
Goodbye.